one of the basic things you must be able to do in this topic is to be able to write any number as a product of its prime factors. I'm going to use the factor tree method in order to do this for 120. 120 is equal to 12 times 10. Neither of these numbers are prime, so I'll carry on. 6 times 2 gives us 12. 2 is prime. 6 can be written as 3 times 2. Both of these numbers are prime. 10 is equal to 5 times 2. Both of these numbers are prime. Now 120 can be written as these prime numbers multiplied together. So that's 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 2. Now that you can write more simply because 3 is on its own. So I'll write 3. I'll cross this 3 out. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 3. I'll cross these out. Multiplied by 5. And that's your solution. Now to find the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor of a pair of numbers which are relatively large, you don't necessarily have to write both numbers as a product of its prime factors in index form. However, you need to have the prime factors written out. So I'll do this for 150 as I've already have it written out for 120. 150 is equal to 15 times 10. And 10 is equal to 5 times 2. Both of these numbers are prime. 15 is equal to 5 times 3. Both of these numbers are prime. Now I'm going to use the Venn diagram method in order to find the lowest common multiple and highest common factor of these two pairs of numbers. This circle is for 150 and this one is for 120. Anything that is common in those two, I'm going to write in the middle here where the circles overlap. And what's unique for these two numbers goes in these two areas. I see that I have a 5 that's common in both. So I cross out a 5 in each side, I'll write 5 in here. I have a 3 that's common in both, I'll write 3 in here. I also have a 2 that's common in both, and I'll write 2 in here. What's left over is a 5 for this side and 2 2s for that side. Now, the highest common factor using the Venn diagram method is what's inside the middle here multiplied together. So that's 5 times 3 times 2, which is 30. And the lowest common multiple is all of these numbers multiplied together. Now, the good thing is what's inside this circle multiplies to give you 150, and what's inside this circle multiplies to give you 120. So I'll use this circle's multiples, which total is 150. That's 150 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2 again. So that's 150 times 2 is 300, times 2 is 600. So 600 is the lowest common multiple of 150 and 120.
2, 3.
Now this is another typical higher paper question. The number 40 can be written as 2 to the power of m times n. Notice that 2 is a prime number. And in the rest of the question, it tells you that m and n are prime numbers. The key thing here is that n is a prime number. So you can see that this is 40 written as a product of its primes. So I'm going to do that for 40 first. I'm going to write it as a product of its primes. I'll use the factor tree method in order to write the factors, the prime factors of 40. So that 40 is equal to 4 times 10. 4 is equal to 2 times 2. Both of these numbers are prime. 10 rather, is equal to 5 times 2. Both of these numbers are prime. So now I can write 40 now as a multiple of these prime numbers. So that's 2 times 2 times 5 times 2. And if I write this more simply in index form, I get 2 to the power of 3 because there's 3 2's there. Multiplied by 5. Now, if you compare this to this, you can see that m is equal to 3 and n is equal to 5. That's your solution.
2, 3.
Now have a go at these questions. The solutions will appear shortly.